Hi y'all, my name is Philip, and I just wanted to do kind of an introductory video so that people could get just a general sense of who I am and just kind of pick up on my energy and make it a little bit more personal. So anyways, I'm originally from the South. Specifically, I'm from Mississippi, and I lived there for the majority of 40 years, although I did spend high school in Kentucky. And after that, I lived in Tennessee, which is a great place. I also lived in California and Nevada, and now I live in Maine. I've been here in Maine for about 5 years, and that's where I've lived. So, anyways, the reason that I left Mississippi is because of a number of factors. I had experienced the death of my sister, and when she died, I said, well, thank God, at least I have my best friend. And then he died, and then Katrina hit, which was just like taking all of my foundation and just wrecking it. And I just remember kind of feeling lost and just kind of unhinged a little bit. And so I had spent a lot of time kind of escaping all of that and some of the general oppression also by going to New Orleans. And it was kind of my retreat from the little Sunday school Taliban training centers. So anyway, so I spent a lot of time in New Orleans, and I would go down also for, go down for Mardi Gras. Um, I did go down for a voodoo ceremony because um, well, I won't go into too much about it, but I did go down to a voodoo ceremony, and they did kind of a special ritual, and I thought that was very interesting. I'm really fascinated about all religions and all practices, and I used to hang out at the voodoo stores and read all the books and about Obatala and that sort of thing, and I just love the atmosphere in New Orleans. It's very mystical, and there's something about it that just pulls you in. And it's also very kind of 18th century. It's like stepping back in time a bit. Very romantic, very creative, but it also has a very dark side, and it's kind of like the place where desire is unhinged, and it's like, every person that goes down, they get lost in that. The magnetic attraction of the city pulls you into this vortex of desire, and there are people that go down and they get into that mode and they never come out alive. Addictions and diseases, HIV, all kinds of stuff. Shooting needles. They're the actual vampires that roam the street. They actually give you warnings that you're not supposed to be doing such and such because the vampires come by with little razors and they'll cut you, and the bloodsuckers abound. Oh Lord. Sorry to go into that, but it is a one-of-a-kind city. So in comparison to New Orleans, I lived in Nashville, and that is such a tame, conservative Bible Belt, but friendly city, but no bloodsuckers. Okay. So anyways, right after Katrina, I had experienced all the deaths and then all the tragedies from all the chaos from Katrina, and I had decided to just hit the road. And I decided that I would go to California. I was going to an alternative healing school, and because because I've always been very interested. I'm a very mystical type of person, and I believe there's more to life than what meets the eye. And also, so anyways, I met this guy in New Orleans, and you can probably tell I'm not that confident. I mean, I just have a general nervousness about me. So, asked me to drive a U-Haul across the country, a giant U-Haul. Well, that wouldn't work out so good. So I had met this guy in New Orleans, and I thought, well, he would be he's very confident. He'd be a good person to drive the U-Haul. He wants to go, and so I let him, and turned out he was a psychopath. And I can't mention too much about him because his family is pretty bad. They would probably get me for libel. Oh, scary people. Very scary people. And so went across the country with him, and I didn't realize he had all these warrants and stuff out. And there was a lot of kind of, when you're around a psychopath, there's a lot of trauma bonding, and all the violence and all the darkness and all of that stuff. It's so unnatural and it's so intense that it does things to you. And so you don't act in typical, normal, reasonable ways after a while. So, to make a long story short, I went to California with him while he was doing his psychopathic stuff. And then I went to Nevada, and I had him in tow because it was a lot of chaos that he was causing, and to be honest with you, I couldn't leave a dog to die on the streets. But not that I'm asking for praise. I got enough punishment. I'm at this point, I don't need any praise for anything I've done. So anyways, went from Reno, Nevada to here in Maine. And the beginning of that was really intensely dark because I went to live with his mom. Oh, that was pretty scary. Very scary. I can see why he is like he is. And so anyways, so now here I am, here in Maine, which I promise you is completely different than Nevada. And so what I do mostly during my spare time is to do devotional practices, meditation or mantra, specifically mantra. Varies, depends on, what I'm feeling and what I need as to what I do. But without that kind of anchor in my life, I probably could not have weathered the storms of the last 9 years as well as I have. Not to say that I haven't had many meltdowns. I've definitely had many kind of, just I'm so nervous. Just if you really overload me with this kind of toxicity that like I'm talking about, then I can have kind of a meltdown after I reach my peak of it, so. I also have, 2 cats. I basically devote my life to my cats. And I live in a very small apartment, so there's 3 of us in one apartment. Me, Mr. Bean, I call him Bean for short, and Boo. So, I love animals. So that's me in a nutshell. And take care.